Have you ever noticed how the quietest woman in the room often holds the most power? She doesn't fight for attention. She doesn't try to prove herself. Yet somehow he can't stop looking at her. Not because she says more, but because she says less and means every word. Her silence speaks. Her presence pulls. And while others chase and beg and bend to be noticed, she just is. That is the calm confidence that doesn't just attract a man, it makes him choose her over everyone. A Roman emperor once said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." In love, it's not the loudest voice that stays in his heart. It's not the one who tries the hardest. It's the woman who knows her value, the one who doesn't compete because she already knows she's unmatched. He feels that peace in her. He sees the storm she's survived and the grace she now walks in. And that is rare. That is what draws him in, slowly, deeply, permanently. Imagine a lake at sunrise, still, clear, untouched. People travel just to sit beside it, not because it performs, but because it brings peace. That is the woman who doesn't chase. That is the woman who doesn't question if she's enough. She already knows she is. And the man who stands beside her, he sees that calm and he chooses her, not because he has to, but because his soul feels safe in her presence. You may have given your heart before. You may have been loud in your love, loud in your pain, thinking the more you gave, the more he'd stay. But now you're learning that true love doesn't come through noise. It comes through certainty, through stillness, through knowing who you are before anyone tries to define it for you. This calm does not mean weakness. This calm is your strength. And when you stand in it, the right man will not only notice, you will become unforgettable to him. You are not just a woman hoping to be chosen. You are becoming a woman who knows she already is the choice. This is where the shift begins. This is where you stop chasing. This is where you rise. And soon you'll understand. This calm is not silence. It is your reign beginning. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of the strength you've been holding all along, then don't leave without showing your love. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we are here working with our whole heart to bring you powerful, honest, healing words that help you rise, love better, and live as the queen you were always meant to be. Number 1. The woman who walks away without a word leaves a silence he'll never escape. Have you ever noticed how silence can scream louder than words? Not the kind of silence that begs to be noticed, but the kind that simply walks away. The kind that doesn't explain, doesn't plead, doesn't look back. He expected a fight. He expected tears. He expected one last chance to feel important. But instead, he got nothing. No calls, no messages, just silence. And that silence, that is the moment he starts to feel the loss. Not because you shouted, but because you didn't. A woman who walks away without a word holds a power most don't understand until it's too late. In that silence, he hears everything. He hears the love he didn't value, the trust he broke, the peace he disturbed, and suddenly, the one he thought would always be there, she's gone, and her absence becomes the echo he can't escape. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "Silence is better than unnecessary words," and in relationships, silence can carry more weight than any goodbye ever could. Because when you know your worth, you don't argue for a place in his life. You simply leave the space and let the emptiness teach him what your presence truly meant. Think of a candle in a dark room. It doesn't shout, it doesn't flicker to impress. It just glows. Quiet, still, warm. But when that flame goes out, the darkness is instant, deep, overwhelming. That is the power you carry, the quiet light he took for granted until it was gone. Now he sits in that darkness, and no matter how loud the world around him gets, your silence is louder. your calm, your grace, your absence. Those are the lessons he never saw coming. You were not weak for loving him. You were strong for letting go when it was time. And now you rise, not with noise, not with pain, but with quiet, calm confidence. The kind of confidence that makes a man stop, think, and realize he lost something rare. You are no longer the woman who waits to be chosen. You are the woman who becomes unforgettable by simply walking away. And that silence, that is your reign beginning. Affirmation: my silence is louder than his excuses. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it with your full heart. Let the world know you are done explaining, done chasing, done waiting. And if this message touched your soul, if it reminded you of who you truly are, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to create content that lifts you higher, heals your heart, and reminds you were never meant to beg. You were meant to reign. Number 2. When you stop chasing, he starts remembering who you really are. Have you ever noticed how he only starts to miss you when you stop showing up? When the texts stop, when the calls stop, when the woman who used to move mountains for him finally stands still. That stillness, it shakes him, because he thought you'd never walk away. He thought you'd always be there, waiting, trying, hoping, but now you're done chasing. And that's exactly when he starts remembering who you really are. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The closer a man comes to calm, the closer he is to strength." And in love, it's not always your effort that wins him. It's your silence, your stillness, your grace under pressure. A woman who no longer fights for his attention is not bitter. She's becoming powerful. And that power, he feels it even when you're not in the room. Think of a flame, the kind that stays steady, warm, glowing. Not because it burns wild, but because it knows its own strength. That's you now. You don't spark just for him. You don't burn out trying to be seen. You're steady. And when he looks around for that warmth and realizes it's no longer his, that's when it hits. He didn't just lose attention, he lost you. In relationships, it's easy to believe that love means chasing, fixing, explaining. But it doesn't. Real love doesn't need to beg. And the woman who once gave everything finally learns to give to herself. That's when she becomes unforgettable. When your calm replaces your craving, when your confidence silences your doubts, he sees it. He sees what he had and what he lost. This moment is not your heartbreak. This is your rebirth. This is when you stop bending to be chosen and begin standing to be remembered. The world may have seen you as the one who gave too much, but now you are becoming the woman who gives to herself first. And queens, that changes everything. Write this in the comments and claim it. When I stop chasing, I become unforgettable. Let him feel the space you used to fill. Let him sit with the silence he created. Let him realize you were always the one. We're here, pouring truth and strength into every word, because you were never meant to beg, beautiful woman. You were meant to reign. Number 3, confidence isn't loud. It's the quiet power that makes him kneel without you asking. Have you ever noticed that the woman who speaks the least often has the most power in the room? She doesn't beg for love. She doesn't ask for attention. She doesn't scream to be seen. Yet somehow he notices her, he watches her, and in the quiet of his thoughts, he chooses her. Not because she tried harder, but because she didn't have to. That's the calm confidence most don't understand. And that's the kind of woman he can't forget, no matter who else stands in front of him. He didn't fall for the noise. He didn't stay for the chaos. He stayed because of the peace you carried in your eyes, the certainty you walked with, and the strength that didn't demand his love, but made him want to give it freely. He may have been drawn to beauty before, he may have chased excitement before, but calm confidence, that's the kind of energy that makes a man stop running. That's what makes him kneel without you ever asking. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water." That's who you are learning to be. The kind of woman who doesn't move just because the world shakes. The kind of woman who doesn't compete because she knows no one else can compare. Think of a candle in the middle of a storm, loud winds, heavy rain, the whole world crashing down, and yet the flame stands steady. Not because it's loud, not because it's big, but because it knows what it is. That's you. You don't need to chase his love. You don't need to fight for his attention. Your light, your peace, your calm. It speaks louder than any words ever could. He will choose you, not because you begged to be chosen, but because your presence showed him what safety feels like. He'll realize that the peace you carry is not common. The way you love, without fear, without pressure, without needing to be loud, that's what sets you apart. That's what makes you unforgettable. You are not broken, dear woman. You are stepping into your power. You don't need noise to be seen. You don't need to shout to be loved. You are the calm in the storm, the strength in the silence, the woman who becomes the reason he finally stops running. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My calm is my power. Let the world know that you no longer chase, no longer beg, no longer wait. You reign. And if this message reminded you of the fire and peace inside you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard to create these life-changing lessons for every woman ready to rise. Number 4. The moment you realize you're the prize is the moment he fears losing you. Have you ever noticed how he only starts paying attention when you stop trying to prove yourself? The moment you stop asking, stop waiting, stop wondering what more you can do to make him stay, that's when everything shifts. That's when he starts to feel it. That quiet panic in his chest, that fear of losing something rare, not because you did anything different, but because you finally remembered who you are. And when a woman remembers that she is the prize, he remembers too. And suddenly the one who was unsure starts to fear losing the one thing he can't replace, you. There's a quiet power in knowing your worth. It doesn't shout, it doesn't beg, it simply is. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." The same truth applies to you, dear woman. Stop wondering if he will choose you. Be the woman who chooses herself. That calm confidence, that unshakable self-respect, it's not loud, but it's magnetic. He feels it in your silence. He sees it in your walk. And that's what makes him stop in his tracks. Think of a mountain, still, powerful, unbothered by the winds around it. That's what it looks like when a woman no longer tries to convince a man to stay. She stands tall, she doesn't chase, and the higher she rises, the smaller his excuses sound. He may not have noticed your presence before, but now your calm becomes his chaos. Your peace becomes the very thing he can't live without. You might have once given too much, tried too hard, lowered yourself just to keep love alive. But no more. You're done shrinking, done waiting, done wondering. You don't need to fight to be seen by the wrong man, because now you're not trying to be chosen. You're realizing you already are the prize, and the moment you step into that truth, that's the moment he feels the fear of losing you in his bones. Dear lady, this is your rise. The moment your calm becomes your crown, the moment your silence becomes your power, and the moment he looks around and realizes he's not choosing anymore, he's hoping you still want him. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am the prize. I do not chase. I reign. Queens, let your voice be heard. if this message reminded you of who you are, if it lit that quiet fire in your soul, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you the lessons, truth, and healing you deserve, because you were never meant to beg. You were always meant to reign. Number 5. Let him watch you glow in the peace he couldn't handle. Have you ever noticed how peace unsettles the wrong person? How the calmer you became, the more distant he grew. You weren't yelling, you weren't begging, you were just steady. And yet, he didn't know how to handle you. Because some men aren't afraid of your chaos. They're afraid of your calm, that quiet strength, that stillness that says, I don't need to prove my worth, I know it. He didn't leave because you were too much. He walked away because your peace exposed the noise in him. There's a quote that says, some hearts are too wild to rest beside peace. And you offered him that peace, pure, unwavering, grounded. But he didn't know how to receive it. He was looking for someone who would fight for his attention, not a woman who already knew she didn't need to. And now he watches from a distance, and what hurts him most is that you didn't fall apart. You glowed, you grew, you became even more of the woman he couldn't understand. Think of a candle in a dark room. It doesn't shout, it doesn't move, it just burns, softly, steadily, and yet everyone in the room is drawn to it. That's you. You're not louder now, you're clearer. You're not chasing love. You are love, and the calm you walk in now, it's not emptiness, it's power. He sees you rising and he doesn't see anger. He sees something far scarier to a man who lost you. Peace. Peace without him. Peace that says you never needed to beg to be chosen. Maybe he thought he had time. Maybe he believed you'd come back. But queens don't turn around. Once a woman finds herself, once she stops performing and starts living, she becomes untouchable. And now he sees the light he used to take for granted, and he's blinded by it. Dear lady, this is not weakness. This is your rise. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not too much. You are peace, wrapped in power, and he will feel the weight of what he lost, not through your words, but through your silence, your stillness, your glow. Affirm this in the comments, queens. He couldn't handle my peace, but now he will watch me shine in it. We are working hard to bring you these life-changing lessons, because every queen deserves to rise in her full power with love that never asks her to shrink. Number 6. A queen doesn't prove her worth. She becomes the lesson he'll never unlearn. Have you ever noticed how the woman who says nothing, who simply walks away with her head held high, stays on his mind longer than the one who begged to be seen? She doesn't scream, she doesn't argue, she just knows. And that quiet knowing, that calm confidence, it doesn't just shake him, it teaches him a lesson he'll never forget. A lesson about value, a lesson about loss, a lesson about a woman he can never get back. He expected you to chase. He expected you to explain, to prove, to fight for your place in his world. But when you chose silence instead of pleading, strength instead of desperation, something in him changed. Not right away. No, he smiled at first. Thought he won, thought he moved on. But now, he feels the shift. He feels the weight of your absence, not because you screamed it, but because you owned it. There's a quote that says, "Still waters run deep." That's who you are. You are not here to shake the room with noise. You shake his soul with your grace. He left thinking he could do better, but now he realizes better never looked like peace. Better never felt like home. And now he sees what he lost. The woman who never needed to compete because she already knew she was enough. Think of gold buried beneath the earth. It doesn't sparkle on the surface. It doesn't fight for attention. But when it's found, its worth is undeniable. And once it's gone, Nothing fake, nothing flashy can compare. That's what you are to him now, the treasure he took for granted, and the standard he'll never find again. You are not just a woman. You are the one who stopped proving, and in doing so became unforgettable. The calm in your spirit, the strength in your silence, that's what teaches him. That's what haunts him. And that's why, no matter where he goes, no matter who he's with, he will never unlearn the lesson you became. This is your time now, not to explain, not to wait, but to rise into the life that was always yours. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I am the lesson he will never unlearn. Let the world know you are done proving your worth. You are the storm that doesn't make noise, but still shakes everything. Because we are here, building powerful lessons for powerful women and queens, your reign has only just begun. Number 7. The fire that doesn't burn for him anymore is the one he misses most. Have you ever noticed how a fire only burns when it's fed? It needs care, it needs presence, it needs attention, but when it's ignored, slowly, without warning, it fades, quietly, softly, until one day it's gone, and suddenly the warmth that once filled the room is just missing. He doesn't feel it right away. He thinks the fire will stay burning forever, even if he's too distracted to tend to it. But that's where he's wrong, because now the fire that once burned for him no longer does, and that's the fire he'll miss the most. He didn't notice when your voice stopped shaking. He didn't realize when your messages got shorter, when your presence became calmer, when your heart grew quieter. That wasn't weakness. That was your peace returning. He thought your silence meant you gave up. But what he didn't see is that you were learning how to stop giving him parts of you he never appreciated. You were still. You were calm. You were becoming powerful. Seneca once said, "Fire tests gold and adversity tests the strong." And that's what happened. You were tested and you didn't burn out. You became gold, strong, steady, unshakable. He will look for that fire again. He will search for it in her smile, in her arms, in her laughter, but nothing will match the way your love used to feel. Because you didn't just give him attention, you gave him safety, passion, purpose. And now that warmth is gone, and nothing feels the same. Think of a fireplace in the middle of winter. When it's lit, it becomes the heart of the room. Everyone draws near. But if ignored, even the strongest flames turn to ash. And once that ash grows cold, it cannot be rekindled by memory alone. That's what your love was. Bright, rare, irreplaceable. He had it, and he let it die. But lovely woman, this is not your ending. This is the part where you rise. You are not the flame he abandoned. You are the fire that now fuels your own reign. No more burning for him. Now you burn for yourself. Write this in the comments and claim it. My fire no longer burns for him. It lights the path for me. Queens, if this spoke to your soul, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, creating powerful, life-changing messages just for you. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are becoming everything he didn't believe you could be, and more.